lights that burn so brightly in the northeast sky they shine, from a place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome, but nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, it's the Newcastle United versus Leeds United match reaction. And I'm joined by Sam tonight. And I've also got guests in the green room waiting to come on as well. So it looks like it's going to be quite a busy show, this. On today's game, when we drew 0-0 at home to Leeds, is it points dropped? Or is it just good that we're still undefeated? I mean, would we have took a point against Leicester and maybe 3 against Leeds, and it's happened the other way around? Who knows? But before we get into it, if you like what you see, please hit the like button. It does help the channel move up the search results and makes it found easier. Also, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so, helps the channel grow. And also the bell notification tells you when I'm live. Have a pre-recorded video or any upcoming shows as well. Just get into some comments before we get into the show. And Rat was in, and he says, like I said, the team needs upgrades, a new winger, new CDM, a striker. Woods is crap. Mickey's okay, but not there. Trippier must be, and Longstaff must be Elsin, and Longstaff Waffle absolutely crap. 3 games in a row, that boy messes up, says Rat. Yeah, we'll get into all this. Ashton says, hope Chris Wood and Longstaff go. Yeah, we hope so too, I think. And he says, I'm actually disappointed if they don't go. They only played okay a bit, but generally, how much does Longstaff lose the ball? If it weren't for our good defence, we would have lost a few. Yeah, I totally agree with that, mate. I mean, yeah, not the ideal game today that we all hoped for. We were all hopeful that we would have gone on and won this game, got 3 points out of it. First half, we didn't look at it too great. I mean, we did miss chances in that first half. Second half, yes, we dominated. We were all over Leeds. But it was more like Leeds were just there to take a point. They parked the bus. Their game plan was to try and get a point. And although probably a great point for them in a way, but teams like Leeds, yeah, they should be beaten. Same as, it goes back to like the Bournemouth game, Palace game. We didn't beat them. Simple as. We haven't done it to Leeds. Poor game overall. Yes, it was a bit touchy in the second half. There was, a bit of confrontation here and there. But that's the Leeds way, the way they try and play. Trippier weren't at his best today. I must say it's probably the worst game I've ever seen Trippier play, if I'm honest. And that's not me being awful or anything, but that's just the way I see it. Every ball he put in that box, Melier kept coming out and collecting the ball time and time again. We know Trippier is a better crosser than the ball than he has done today. Even the corners weren't great from him. And yeah, he weren't great. Longstaff missed a couple of shots as well, which he should have hit on target. Instead, he put them over the bar, and it was disappointing from him. And he lost the ball quite a bit as well. I think we definitely need another midfielder in there to take his place, because to me he's not good enough. Yes, he might be all right as a squad player, but as a first team 11, I don't think he's that good enough. Yes, we did see a bit of a pickup from him, but I haven't seen anything now, and he's just getting worse in my opinion. Botman, Share, solid at the back as usual. Dan Burn was okay. He was unlucky to miss a shot. Almiron didn't seem at his greatest today. Bruno had a few moments in that first half as well. Positives, Joe Linton. I thought he had a great game. He did break up play, tried to burst through. I thought ESM did well when he came on. Uh, Wilson as well. So there was some positives there. Pope did well in goal for us when whatever he had to do, he did well. Um, but other than that, um, we've getting a 0-0 draw. It's another clean sheet. That's one positive we can look at. And the other positive is we haven't lost the game. We've got a point out of it. Don't forget, I actually said Man City would smash Everton today, and that was totally unheard of because I didn't even think Everton would have got a draw at Man City. I would have thought Man City would have won about 3 or 4-0. So that game 10-1-1. That's not bad. That's not a bad result for us either. And it's funny how we're talking about that, saying, well, actually, that's a great result. Man City drawn. Normally we're sitting in the in previous seasons we've been sitting in the relegation zone and we've been like, oh well, I hope Leeds don't win today, and I hope this team don't win, and that team. So yeah, I mean, I'll come to you, Sam. I mean, give us your thoughts, mate, on today's very frustrating game.
Well, that's it. It was just frustrating. I thought we did enough to win the game. We had enough chances to win the game, but chances fell to the wrong people. I mean, falling to Longstaff. They fell to Chris Ford, and then they fell to Shaw from set pieces. It shows again where we need to strengthen if we're to go forward. It just shows Wood isn't good enough. For all the progress Longstaff's made, he isn't good enough. And if you're going to play Bruno as a defensive midfielder, you need to play somebody else up there, i.e. a Maddison, or even if you go for a Tielemans, you need to get him in so you can free up Bruno because he was wasted that day because he didn't really do anything. It was one of his poor games. We looked a lot better when ESM and Wilson came on because they carried a bit more of a threat and they gave more defence to think about. And I think they have to start on Tuesday. I don't care what anybody says, whether they like them or not. They've got to start because we look better with them in the team than them sitting on the bench. But then also, I thought first half was probably why we didn't win the game because we lacked the intensity. We looked like, we just looked flat. We looked like, we didn't look at it, as you say. Obviously, we've got to give them a bit of credit because they're frustrated in that meantime. But again, that's down to us again to have that intensity about us. We just didn't do it. But I still think again when like ESM came on, we could have used them a lot more than what we did. I thought the officials were shit. If I'm being honest, I thought everything Leeds were doing, they were going for, and then for some reason in the 90 when the 90 minutes was up, there was 4 minutes at a time, and they only really played one because there was more of a scuffle happened, and literally a minute or so after the scuffle happened, he blew for full time, which I thought, well, it was longer than a minute, so. But on the flip side, I'm going to look at it as is we've took 4 points out of 6. We've kept 2 clean sheets. We're still in 3rd place. I said on Boxing Day, if we can get 4 points out of Leicester, it's a good return considering last season we only got 1 point out of these 2 fixtures and we conceded 5 goals at the same time. So again, that's what you've got to take into consideration. But like I said, I think it just presses home the need of where we need to upgrade again if we want to stay where we are because, like I said, Wood isn't a good enough backup striker because I think a good backup striker would have took one of his one of his chances. And again, if you're going to play Bruno as a centre midfielder, we need to sign Maddison to play him so that we can break down teams so he can or like I said, get Tielemans in so he can play Tielemans in that position, then have Bruno further forward. So, it is what it is. Again, defence looked pretty. I thought Trippier didn't have his best of games. I don't know if that was his 5th yellow today. I don't know because I was confused at what people were saying. Because I was saying
he's
some
had
people
3 this season, 3 yellows.
That's his 4th one, so he's fine for Tuesday, right? That makes sense. Obviously, Shaw didn't get booked, so he was fine for Tuesday. Again, I thought Pope had nothing to do for the majority of the game, which shows how good we are defensively. And the fact that we're mourning that we've only drawn a game shows that how far we are going because at this point we didn't win a game, whereas a year ago, even in the position we were at, we would be happy to take a draw because we were used to losing games. So, it's, again, you've got to look at two sides to the story, and I'm not deflated because we haven't lost, because we haven't won. I'm just deflated at the fact of that, if buts and maybes, really, if the chances fell to Wilson, if the chances fell to Almiron, if the chances fell to anyone, bar the players that they fell to, I think we would have won the game. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I totally agree. No, I mean, Trippier's had 3 yellow cards this season, so maybe if that's his 4th, so Trippier should be fine. It was only Fabian Schär we had the concern with. If he picked up the yellow card today, that he would have been. So before I grab somebody in from the green room, I'll go through some comments. Ashton says we should be beating teams like Leeds. Yeah, we should be, absolutely. And
should be, but there's nothing's a certainty in football. You've got to turn up and do it, haven't you?
No. Just look at Man City. As I say, yeah. I had them down to absolutely smash Everton today, but they got a 1-1 draw.
I think everybody did.
Yeah. They would have thought Everton would have gone to Man City, yet he hadn't got a draw. And Ashton says, I can't hide my disappointment in that game. No, absolutely not. He says, I really don't want to see either of them playing. They are not good enough. I mean, what I couldn't understand is when we made the substitution, we took Willock off. Why didn't we take off Longstaff instead of Willock and keep Willock on? But then, or is Eddie Howe thinking I'd rather have Willock rested ahead of Tuesday's game against Arsenal? So maybe that played a part. And remember, we had 48 hours extra rest over what Leeds had. Yeah. Yep. So Ashton says we're definitely not competing if we keep players like them. He says it was a very frustrating game. It was. And Ashton says the transfer window can't come soon enough. That's tomorrow. Midnight tonight that opens. We have Arsenal next. If we can't beat Leeds at home, Arsenal away will be difficult. It will be a difficult game, but
2 different games though. It's 2 different games. It's away from home. The pressure's on Arsenal, not us.
And not only that, Sam. I mean, the fact as well, we'll be playing against a team who want to play football, not a team who's going to push 11 players behind the ball. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They're going to attack, so there'll be gaps to expose them.
Yeah, absolutely. Mighty Max says, hi, Tony and Sam, with Trippier suspended for Arsenal. Well, he's not suspended for Arsenal because it was Schär who was on 4 yellow cards. So that's fine on that one. Ashton says, Chris Wood has been getting on my nerves for a while, but just barely ever gets goals other than penalties every time. I see as one, I always think it must be from a pen. Yeah, he had chances today as well, and unfortunately didn't take them. I like coffee. Hi, Tony, Sam and all. Hello, I like coffee. Ashton says, sad to see Trippier booked that one in the box earlier. Should have been booked if it wasn't much different. Yeah, that ref was poor today, by the way, guys. Alan says, guys, look, we're not going to win every game. It's disappointing, yeah, but at least chances are created, clean sheet as well. Absolutely, Alan, you've summed it up there in one paragraph there. Yeah, we're not going to win every game. We don't expect to go and win every game. Yes, we look at Leeds and think, yes, we should have beat a team like Leeds United. But you know what? These games happen. It's how you bounce back from these games. You know, we got beat off Liverpool, but we bounced back. And so we went on an unbeaten run. So we haven't lost the game, and we've still got the best defence in the Premier League. Ashton says it's not just about winning, it's a poor performance as well. Yeah, performance weren't too great either. I mean, could we say the weather conditions were just as much to blame or not? I mean, that could be making excuses about the weather. I mean, it was absolutely chucking it down. But there again, you should still be burying your chances in the back of the net, and we had plenty in that first half. If one of them had gone in, I think Leeds would have folded. Nacho says, but Leeds were bad. A clean sheet against them doesn't mean too much if you ask me. Yeah, second half we took the game to them. I mean, maybe should Saint-Maximin and Wilson maybe come on at half time? I don't know. Did we bring them on too late?
Yeah. It depends how fit they were and how much they had in the tank to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Ashton says, if you can't get disappointed by poor performances, then you don't want to be ambitious. I mean,
Ashton, I know
even
that
if we,
you can be disappointed, but you need to take in the perspective of where we were last season, man. We were fighting relegation
yeah,
last season, and now we're third in the league in the space of a year.
yeah,
You can't just, you need to have some sort of grounding on it as well. You can't just, because things have been going well, you can't just go, yeah, disappointed, yeah. You've got to look at how in the short space of time where we've gone from. We've gone from being a relegation for that side to a team at third, and was it, on the 2 points from Man City. you know,
yeah.
and who's
Ali
to say
Coffey
if
says,
we would? And who's to say if we won today? Man City might have won, so we would have still been where we were.
yeah, absolutely. Chris Wood can't start against Arsenal, says I like coffee. I'm sure Callum Wilson will probably start against Arsenal, I'd imagine. So, depending if he's fine after today's game, which hopefully he should be, he looks sharp enough. Ashton says, if Chris Wood plays against Arsenal, I can't watch it. Nacho says, ESM should have come on earlier. Yeah, once the ball was given to him, he did all right on the ball. Alan says, yeah, look at Man City, held by the Scouse Mackhams. Yeah, absolutely. Shock results can happen. Ali Coffey says 6 degrees Celsius, playing in the rain. It's hard to be a Premier League footballer. I would be wrapped up like a burrito sitting in the stands. Yeah. He says, I thought Bruno had a poor game. Yeah, not his best game either. I mean, a lot of players didn't play their best today. Alan says, got to give Leeds credit as well. Yeah, they came for a point and they got exactly what they wanted. Natural says, not to be fair, had we scored one goal, you wouldn't be asking to give Leeds credit, he says. I like Bruno with the Pele shit on at the beginning. What a legend, says Ashton. Yeah, a lovely touch for Pele, that wasn't it? And I like Coffee says, I did tell John yesterday Leeds could be a banana peel and predicted a 2-2 draw, but then later changed my prediction to 3-0 because of home advantage. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us had us down for a home win today, and just shows you it doesn't always go to form, does it? So, yeah. Right, so I've got some people in the green room, so I'm going to bring them on one at a time. So I'll bring on Lewis first. Hi, Lewis, how are you?
Cold, miserable, depressed.
Yeah, you were at the game today, Lewis. I mean, sum up today's game.
That referee they should have a better referee in today. Because like we were like we should have a penalty in the game. They should have been down to 10 men. Because number 21, whatever his bloody name is, like he was keep fouling and kicked the ball away a couple of times. He was only on a yellow card. Like if we did that, we had a player sent off.
Yeah, I mean just wasn't a great game, Lewis, today, was it really? I mean, should we have had a penalty in the first half? Debatable. Yes. It looked like he was clipped.
Yeah, because in the Leeds' end, he got tripped. He got took away from him, right in front of me.
But VAR didn't think it was deemed a penalty. I don't know why. They didn't explain why it wasn't deemed a penalty. I mean, it was Michael Salisbury who was the VAR referee. If you remember, that was the referee against Crystal Palace who disallowed our goal after going to the monitor. The referee hasn't got great experience in the Premier League. Why is he on VAR duties is beyond me as well. I mean, take that away. Had we got that penalty and scored it, then yeah, we would have been 1-0 up, and maybe it might have been a different game. Who knows? But I think our performance today, not being absolutely brilliant today, I think basically we sort of got what we deserved. Do you think, Lewis?
Yeah, and the goalkeeper should have been booked as well for time wasting. Literally, from minute 1, he got the ball, lay on the floor, and he had the ball in his hands for about like a minute, waiting to kick it. You technically only allowed to have 6 seconds.
I felt that referee today wasn't that great, to be honest, Simon Hooper. I thought he had a
No.
poor game, if I'm honest, and he seemed
Jesse,
to lose control a bit as well at times.
Yeah. Jesse Marsh, he was on the pitch a couple of times and the referee didn't see. He's put his feet on the pitch a couple of times and you go, yeah, surely now, tell him, give him a yellow card or give him a red card, make him go to the stands and that.
I mean, normally if a manager steps on the pitch, that's what your fourth official's there to do. He's there to go along and say, look, come on, you know the rules, stay in the box, don't go on, don't come out the box.
And there was Craig Pawson was the fourth official. He doesn't like us.
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing, but do you know what? You got to look at the positives. There's positives come out of that game, Lewis. Mm-hmm. We've got a clean sheet and we got a point. That's the positives you got to look at. You know, we've done fantastic this season, better than probably what any of us thought. I mean, do you honestly think, Lewis, looking at after today's game, and this is a question I'm going to ask guests when they come on as well, but I mean, if, say, this season we finish in this top 4, with, obviously, we've had restraints because of FFP and all this, but can you see us being very good in that Champions League, Lewis?
No,
honestly, are we ready?
No, I don't think we could. I've waited next season.
Yeah. I mean, do you think if we went to Champions League next season, we would be
better,
torn apart?
No, I think we actually do quite well. I think we get out into the knockout stages of the Champions League.
I mean, I did say at the beginning of the season that if we finished 7th and finished in the Europa Conference League, that would be progress for me.
Yeah.
Now, if we had, I mean, I know it's nice to be in the Champions League, but then you've got to have the team and the players to take you forward in that competition.
Yeah.
Now, if we finished in the top 4 this season, would you say, Lewis, we're ready next season for the Champions League or not? Or would you rather say, actually, I'd rather wait a year after than that?
I'll wait, but it'd be just nice to have Champions League football back at St. James.
It would be nice to have it back, wouldn't it? But that's the thing you've got to look at. Are we actually ready for it yet? And the answer to me, the way I look at it from today's performance and from a couple of other performances we've had, I don't think we are for next season. Yeah. If anything, if we were in, say, the Europa Conference League next season, that's probably a nicer competition to probably go into, if you know what I mean. But if you're in the Champions League next season, you sort of think, you know, we're not ready for that. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think maybe, say, if we finish top 4 next season and then the following season in the Champions League, then you've maybe got a chance. But you know, we just have to wait and see what happens. I mean, the way we're playing, if we do finish in the Champions League this season, we just have to accept that we're in it next season. But I mean, Sam, do you think we're ready for Champions League football next season, honestly?
No, because I don't think anyone expected us to be third in the league at this stage of the season. I think everyone expected it to be probably mid-table with really not being clear of relegation, but nowhere near ready for European football. So I think top 4 will be far too early in the project.
Yeah. I mean, we're up at the dizzy heights of the Premier League, and obviously none of us expected it to be there, and we're going to finish this year in the top 4 as well. That's a thing. I mean, it's been a great journey from January this year to where we are now. I mean, for what we've done in such a short space of time in this calendar year under Eddie House, you know, been absolutely fantastic, and we're still in the cup as well. We're in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. But yeah, I don't think we're ready. I mean, going forward, Lewis, I mean, how do you think we'll get on at Arsenal? What you're hoping for there?
A point.
A point. You take a point against Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair enough. That's probably more realistic. I mean, at least it'll be a little bit of a better game against Arsenal, because at least we'll have a team that wants to play. Where with Leeds, they don't seem to want to play; they just wanted to park the bus, especially that second half. 11 players behind the ball. It doesn't make a great game, and at least for the Arsenal game, it'll be a bit more entertaining.
Yeah. Do you see how weird their Leeds kits was today?
Yeah, they were a funny looking kit, weren't they? Yeah.
Because they couldn't wear the home shirt because obviously it's white and we're playing black and white. Wherever the kit would have put playing in, the shorts are black. They couldn't, and the socks are black. They can't literally have the socks and shorts clash. They were wearing the away top, I think. Yeah, the away top with the home shorts and socks.
Yeah. But so you reckon a point on Tuesday, you'd be happy with that, Lewis?
Yeah, and it's live on Sky Sports.
Yes, it is. It's live on Sky as well, yeah. But yeah. Right, great for coming on. Thanks, Lewis. I've got other people in the chat ready to come in as well.
I'm half asleep. I'm going to the quayside tonight.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame you, mate. Get yourself some rest before you go down there. And
no problem.
Happy New Year. All the best, mate.
Happy New Year, guys. If anybody's watching in Australia or New Zealand, Happy New Year. Let's hope for a great 2023.
Yeah, let's see what's on the corner.
Yeah.
Cheers, Lewis. Thanks,
no
mate.
problem. All the best.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, guys, that was Lewis in the chat there. Mighty Mag just on the comments says, Lewis depressed, we are third. Do you want Ashley back? I don't think he's mentioned that. I think he's just more disappointed in how the game's gone today. I shouldn't say this. No, it's good that we are third, but a lot of the officials are doing terrible decisions. They add up, so I'm happy about being third. Just could have been even better if the referees weren't so crap, he says.
That's nothing we can. Unfortunately, that's out of our control. We can only do what we can do.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows you why our VAR refs didn't go to the World Cup, because we ain't gone because they're rubbish. Hopefully Howard Webb's now coming. Hopefully he'll shake it all up, but we'll wait and see. Nacho says we could have tried shooting a bit more, especially after the 89th minute. We had plenty of chances to score. Ashton says, Lewis, are you reminding me when Pope got booked? Did that not come to mind when you saw there? Keep our time wasting. Yeah, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. Nacho says, a shame really. You do play next Arsenal. Mighty Max says, Tony, after today's game, if any signings were more or less to go for, do you think it's forced the owners to get the checkbook out? I don't think it's maybe forced the owners to get the checkbook out. I think they've got targets who they're looking at. It's just a matter of who comes in. So it's just a case of watch your space. We're probably going to be linked with about 1,000 players this month, but you know, we can only buy a couple of them. So just see who comes in and trust the ownership. I shouldn't say it's hardly to say. I think Champions League would be difficult for us at this point, but it would still be a worthy experience for the team to see where they're at, and would also depend on what players we bought. I mean, Tuesday is going to be a test to see where we're actually at, because we're playing against the league leaders, Arsenal, who are currently winning 3-1 away to Brighton at the moment, and so that's going to be the test on Tuesday. So see where we are then. Ashton says we need a plank of the match. I'll go with Wood for that. I thought that's who you were going to say. Nacho says, I think we should make signs I have a chance at Champions League. I would be fine with Europa League as well, though. Yeah, I mean, Europa League's probably the better one to go on the fact of as well. So I'm going to get the next guest in anyway, and let's welcome in Darren. Hi, Darren. How are you, mate?
Hello.
You all right?
Hello, Alice.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on today's game, mate?
Well, let's listen to Lewis there. He must have been watching a different game to me, because the Leeds keeper did get booked at the end of the game.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Yeah.
I'm not that depressed, to be fair. Like, yes, we didn't win, we didn't play great, but every keeper, even when Newcastle go away, we do the same thing. We waste time. So what's the difference from Newcastle doing it to Leeds doing it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest time waster in the Premier League's T-Rex, isn't it?
I know, but every keeper does it. Everybody does it, mate. We play away.
Yeah.
see him waste time. So Lewis is going about Leeds winning time. Again, every keeper does it. Unless the penalty, again, sometimes it could be penalty. It's one of them. It might be given, might not be given. So the ref thinks it's not a penalty. So how is it clear an obvious error? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, like Woods didn't play well. The worst player of the day was Kieran Trippier. His set pieces were shocking. He couldn't cross. He done nothing in the day. That's his worst game I've seen him play. And it tells me that no way, Jose, we want top 4. I said at the start of the season, anyone in the top 10 better than last season, that'll do me. We're not. You have confidence is a plus, but nowhere top 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is today, Trippier's crossing seemed to be off the pace. Everything he hit seemed to go straight into the keeper's hands, and that's not like Trippier normally. He's crossing, his delivery's much better than that. Even his corners were disappointing as well. I mean, even his free kick that hit the wall, that didn't even clear the wall.
But it's not. He
didn't have his greatest game.
It's not the end of the world, though. Yes, we didn't win, but we drew. We're still one game this season, up now one defeat. And then we've got a hard game on Tuesday. If we get beat on Tuesday, your most you hope for on Tuesday is a draw, because I think Arsenal will be a very, very hard game. They'll be after us after revenge of last season, costing them the Champions League, and they win the 4-1 now. And it's gonna be a hard game Tuesday. And if we get beat, we'll get beat. It's not the end of the world. As long as we go down there fighting with how we've been playing and give a good count to ourselves, I'm happy with that. But people's gonna like saying, "Oh, we're rubbish," and all. Like already, people say they need to expect to lose. He's down the dumps. I'm not down the dumps. We drew. Not the end of the world.
Yeah.
We'll move on the next game and crack on. Like the other lad said, top 8 will be a plus. Anyone in the top half of the league, you're happy with. It's better than last season. We're overachieving so already this year. It's a marathon, not a sprint. People's got to realise that.
I've still got 20 games to play or something in the league, haven't we? 21 games or something to play in the league.
And then we're going to take a knock. We're going to lose a couple of games, but it's going to come. But it's not the end of the world to have. I want the 40 points, and at least not getting relegated.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
That's what I said the other day. Yeah, we were 7 points away from the drop zone. We're 6 points away from that magical 40-point mark.
So anything better than last season, I'm happy. Top off finish is a plus for me, but I'm not going to get down the dumps. We didn't win, fair dues, but we drew. The referee didn't have a good game, but he tried to let the game flow on. Leeds wasted time, done the best to waste time. But which team, when Newcastle go with, did they do the same? Yes, they did against Liverpool. People won't complain there about Newcastle wasting time, will they?
Exactly.
All teams waste time going away from home, and they try their best. And Leeds come for one thing, a draw, or try and nick it. And they got one thing, they got the draw. It tells you we haven't got the squad in depth. I was saying to me, mate, Aaron, he's had a good season, fantastic, but he's got no real competition in his position. And that shows you the lack of depth we've got.
Yeah. It's the same on the left as well. I mean, we haven't got a lot of depth on the left either. I mean, we brought Murphy on. He's not really... He's not going to really challenge...
We brought Murphy on for Amaron and ESM for Willock. But again, like, I felt a bit sorry for Willock because when ESM company gets take off, he keeps Joe Linton on. Joe Linton didn't have a great game today. Longstop had a bad game today, but he played good he played good on Boxing Day, so you cannot win them all. You cannot just play every game. You can't play great. It's impossible. But it's a marathon, not a sprint, and people wake up and smell like coffee. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, Leeds came with a game plan. They wanted a point, and they got that point.
Yeah.
So they're probably going home thinking it's a victory for them. But yeah, we had chances and we didn't put them away. Simple as. If you don't put your chances away, you don't win games.
Yeah, and they say we're just being spoiled. Like, we're not spoiled, but we're in the league, top 4 this season. You kind of complain so far, but we're all going to get a few knocks going like next year. This next year it's not going to be the same this year. Do you know what I mean? We still need about I think I'll be happy to get 2 players in January and see what they are, because all this speculation, Madison's getting linked. It's everything's speculation. Nothing's come up with the club. So I'm not listening to any of the speculation. Who's talking? No one's come out and said confirmed. The club hasn't confirmed. Everything's quiet in the club. It's just everybody's speculation. So I'm not listening to anything till it's come on Sky Sport and you confirm. That's when I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, they always speculate, these journalists and, these media outlets.
Even fans, don't even all these podcasts, they're doing it too, you know what I mean? Like, Inside Scoop, Be Friends, say so it's just coming. Like, they're not nothing really.
Yeah. I mean, if we see a rumour, we'll see it's a rumour, but it's not to say that the guy's actually coming into the club, you know what I mean? But we know some people out there do say, this guy's coming in, and they don't, that's when you make yourself look a fool if you do say things like that, like, this guy's coming into the club, we can sign him, and, but it's all speculation at the end of the day. Until they're holding that black and white scarf above their head with a shirt on, that's when you know it's confirmed.
But see, like, people don't want to get too downhearted. It's yes, they didn't win. Yes, they didn't play great. The penalty, it could have been, it could not have been. Is it clear or is error? I think not, because referee can only judge you what he thinks, and then the fourth to whoever's doing VAR, he's got to think that clear and not error. Do you think it's an error? I don't think it's an error. I've seen it. The only thing I'll say, if that's not in the penalty, is that outside the box where a referee give a free kick? That's the only thing I'll question.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, we saw it with VAR last week with Michael Oliver when he gave Arsenal a penalty against West Ham during the week. And then VAR sent him back to the monitor. And when he actually looked at it, he saw it was actually off the head of Cresswell, not off his arm.
Yeah.
And Michael Oliver got himself upset over that because he thought, I've made an error here and I've been pulled off for it. But he shouldn't be downhearted, because at the end of the day, it's in real time. He's not to know if that's in his hand or his head. And that's where VAR does work really well. But there's sometimes where VAR doesn't work as well. And it costs games. And it can even cost managers their jobs as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I say, but it's. I don't think it was a penalty personally. I think Shaw went down a bit too easy. He was looking for the penalty, I think. But we didn't play well. People could accept it. It's not the end of the world. We're third top of the league. Crying out loud. 34 points. Not the end of the world. Well, do you know what I mean? Like, let's accept it. Beat the goal to lose one game this 2020, like 2023 season. It's fantastic. Just crack on next game. Arsenal's going to be a hard game, but again, it's going to be a hard game. You've got to accept that. We'll go down there, give a good account of ourselves. Even to get beat, it's not the end of the world. We're third top of the league. Find out loud, just people just need to accept it. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said at the start of the show, probably a lot of people probably thought, well, we'll get a draw at Leicester because that's a tough place to go to.
Yeah,
but we'll beat Leeds. But what we've done is we've done it the opposite way around. We've beat Leicester and got a draw against Leeds. And
exactly. I said I went to Leicester, and I said I'll take a point at Leicester. I'll take 3 points. So it's like you see, alternative way around. So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, Leicester's got a cracking defender, though, having that Wout Faes. I mean, God, what a liability he is, isn't he? I mean, 2 own goals last night. I was just wondering, has there ever been a hat-trick of own goals before?
Someone did it. Someone scored 3 own goals against Charlton.
Yeah. I tried that. I didn't worry, but that's Leicester player. I'm not so concerned about him. Yes, he made 2 errors, big errors he made, but I'm more concerned about Newcastle. But it's like you say, but and then keep going. Eddie Howe will not be happy he didn't win, but that's the type of bloke he is. You look at what mistakes he did, and everyone will know, like Trippier's free kicks and corners were great too, obvious today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and the keeper wasted time. When we go over, we waste time. You watch on Tuesday when we get the ball, you'll see Nick Pope taking his time.
Yeah. I mean, the Leeds players seem to be doubling up on Almiron as well to try and stop him from getting the ball to his left foot because they know he hasn't got a right foot.
Yeah, and again, is that good tactics by Leeds? You've got to give Leeds credit.
Yeah.
So,
they've done their homework.
Yeah, they've done the homework. They know how to stop Almiron. Keep on his right. and they wouldn't let him go on his right to double up on him. So again, that's good play by Leeds. But where we got a counter attack, we need something new to come on. We had nothing. Murphy's coming on the pitch. He done that when he come on. Right? But he didn't get much time. What does 5 minutes give you when he come on the pitch? Not much at all.
Yeah.
I think all the day says is that our squad needs more additions. That's all it says to me.
You're 100% 100% right there. I can remember Dwight York at Aston Villa said if he gets he knows he's guaranteed to play. So when Dwight York before we left Villa, he knew he was guaranteed to play, and he says he didn't want that feeling of playing every week. So at the minute, Amron guaranteed to be playing. He's got need competition on the right hand side, and that's what we need. Like you said, we need quality players in depth though. Competition. Amron didn't have a good game today. He done a couple of good flicks, but he done nothing abnormal, you know.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of the players had a good game today. I think the only one who probably had a decent enough game was Pope as well, because I mean he done what he had to do, and you know.
He didn't do much, though, did he?
No. But he still had to be alert. I mean, when that cross came over, he got his hands to that and pushed it well.
Yeah,
he didn't push it back into their area. But
you wouldn't give man, you wouldn't give man a match for that, would you?
No.
I'm saying that, but it's hard to be honest. Go on, mate.
I think our best player was the SM. I'm not being controversial, but I just think things sort of happened when he came on. He had a bit of a go at them.
Yeah, he passed. He didn't lose the ball. He passed it on. The only thing is, he went down a couple of times looking for a free kick.
Yeah.
Get up, mate. Not wrong with you. Frustrating again. But again, no one stood out to see they had a good game today. That's not worrying, but like no one say but we didn't win. Fair enough. We drew. A draw is a bit undefeated, isn't it? In my eyes.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's still the best defense in the league, aren't we? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's what I say. We got to look at the positives. We got a clean sheet. We've got a point. A point is better than not getting any at all. So it's a plus. It's a plus.
Like, and I Lewis said the manager was going on the pitch, but that's just petty. You watch how many managers do it. To be fair, Arteta's probably the worst one for it. He does all the time. You know what I mean? But just gotta accept it. We didn't win, and no point in humming and hawing. We didn't win. Move on. We didn't play great. We got a point. Like last under Bruce, we would have got beat.
Yeah.
Last 10 minutes, we would have got beat on the Bruce, wouldn't we? But,
yeah, absolutely.
So just.
I mean, yeah, Lewis saying the manager crouching the pitch and getting a booking. I mean, it's a bit silly. I mean, if you go back to the World Cup, look when all the substitutes are piling on the pitch when players scored. You know, when teams scored, like Morocco substitutes or Portugal or England or whoever. But
I just think people are just looking for I think people are just looking for the weirdest excuses to complain or say anything today. We didn't win. Yes. When our Chris was not great, but he done all right against Leicester. He done nothing against Leicester. But all know he's not like Wilson. But I am a great believer. If you win 3-0 at Leicester, how do you break up within team up?
Well, that's it, and that's what Eddie House probably thought. I'll stick with the winning team. Yeah.
So on that note, you can't, in my opinion, just continue winning team. So fair play to Eddie Howe. You just want to upset the squad. Do you know what I mean? We haven't got was non-existent all game, but he tried. He does his best, but it's one of the things. We didn't win. It's not the end of the world. And like the lad said, we haven't got the squad in depth. Do you know what I mean? We need that ASAP, but we might get. I think Fraser might be gone. I've heard, but I don't know how true it is. But he wasn't in the squad today as well.
He wasn't in the squad today as well.
I believe he's going to Southampton. That's what I've heard on the grapevine. He's going to Southampton. I don't know how true it is, but we didn't get beat. That's the most important thing in the day. We didn't get beat. The point is, but I know points.
Absolutely. And just before you go, Darren, who do you think scoreline for Tuesday? What would you take on Tuesday?
Again, Tony, I think it'll be a hard game. I'll take a 0-0 or a 1-1, but that's if we're lucky. I think Arsenal will be up for us on Tuesday, mind you. It'll be a hard game Tuesday, in my opinion. It'll be very, very...
Yeah.
3-4. Brighton's just scored.
Wow. Gosh, Brighton are staging a comeback then, aren't they?
It's just good there. But it'll be a hard game, Arsenal. But Arsenal will be a hard game. And we just got to go out there, believe in ourselves, compete, give 100%. If we get beat, we get beat. It's not the end of the world. But we're quite capable of getting something down there. The way we'll be playing against Man U, against Tottenham. Got no to be afraid of. Just have our wits and give them a good game. But if we get beat, it's not the end of the world. But they're top of the league at the minute. 34 points.
Exactly.
People just need to just accept it. I say, like, yes, we didn't win. All people can say, oh, we need to buy him, we need to buy Madison, we need to buy such and such. We're not panic. I don't want to panic, but because they say all these points, so just don't get too worried.
That's it. We're not losing games, so
yeah.
We've got a quarter final to look forward to in the cup as well, and we've got the FA Cup. Is he?
Oh, he looks offside.
Oh, so that's choked off then, is it?
He's coming back from offside. Thing. Was the bottle thing, so.
Phew.
At the minute, they're looking at it. I'm looking at it at the minute, but it's offside. I think. Offside.
Offside.
So, well, at the day, mate. It's not the end of the day. It's saying, people can have a good night and.
Exactly.
Don't be too hungry. Just worse things up. I mean, it could be bottom of the league like Southampton. We're not.
Yeah.
We're third top of the league. We didn't win. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice for us to watch other people go through the relegation battle. We're not in one, so we don't have to worry about that.
Exactly, mate.
We've got them positives now. That's the positives we've got now. We're never hopefully going to be ever near the bottom three ever again.
Oh no, you're saying it's just people are saying I just kind of irritated how we're going to win because we didn't win. We should have won. Not one's guaranteeing the Premiership. People's got to realise, and again we're overperformed this year because our squad's they're not on paper, but it's not that great to be fair. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, mate. I've got other people to come on. But cheers, Darren, for coming on, mate. And I hope we get a point on Tuesday. I'll be happy with that, mate.
So will I, bud. Have a good all the best on New Year, lad, boys.
Happy New Year, mate. See you later.
Bye.
All right, let's bring in. I'll bring in Gordon briefly because I've got plenty of people waiting. Hi, Gordon. What was your thoughts on today's game?
He's on mute.
Hang on, mate. You're on mute. Right. You're off mute now. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, you're all right.
Yeah, like a point's a point.
Yeah.
At least we did get beat.
Yeah, we didn't get beat. I mean, positives, clean sheet and a point.
Yep.
I mean, out of these two games, would you have taken 4 points or were you expecting 6 points?
I would have took 4 points.
Yeah.
But the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, what disappointed you about the most today?
Just the composure of the group.
Yeah. Anybody stand out for you as man of the match?
Not really.
Not really, no.
You see, I'll be listening. So, like Trippier wasn't very good.
Yeah. I mean, Tuesday we go to Arsenal down at the Emirates. It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
What are you expecting there?
I'll be having another point.
What's your scoreline prediction?
I'm going to go
1-1. Yeah. Right, Gordon. Thanks, mate, because I've got to get these others on. Yeah, that's great. But Happy New Year to you as well, mate, and hope we get that point on Tuesday. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Cheers, Gordon. See you later, mate.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Right, I'll just bring these two in. So first I've got Mason, and then I've got Pete as well. So Mason, I'll come to you first. I know you said in your DM you weren't happy. Right, come on, mate. Let's hear what you got to say. And he's on mute.
Sorry about that.
No,
First one, Mo Dyer. Second one, Dirty Bastards. Where we're playing again today. And the third one, Chris Wood should be sold as soon as possible. Because I just literally I don't understand why he gets the nod. Yes, Wilson wasn't. I don't know what's been said, but I was glad he was on the bench. But Chris Wood, that first half was shit. Generally shit. I mean, that in the first half when he tried to get the ball and then somehow it went out. I mean, you wouldn't say Isaac or Wilson do that because he's not good enough. And with Leeds, the way credit them, we should have been. I'm not how many God goals we're going to get, but if it wasn't from their keeper, they would have been like 4. We would have been like 6, 7, 8-0 winners. Because, as you said, they came to park the bus and defended. But I'd say only had like two shots at the end. One of them was I don't know if 2 or 1. One of them was Pope with Rodrigo, and I mean, I think investments got to be done with getting a new striker in because I'm just getting fed up. I'm fed up of seeing Chris Wood play. Yes, he had a good game against Leicester, but no excuse to come back at home against another one of your old teams and come out and play shit because that's what he's done today. He did well against Leicester, one of his former clubs. Comes up against Leeds, another one of his former clubs, and then he plays shit. What? Just why? Is there something gone wrong? Is something gone wrong at the training ground or something to make you play shit? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, we all know he's not really a goal scorer. And, I mean, the thing is, we do need another striker, and if we get, say, Marcus Thuram in, if he's coming in for, say, 10 million or whatever, then that's another striker in. That means you can then free up getting rid of Wood, but we'll have to get cover before we can get rid because we need Isak back. He's going to be like a brand new signing when he comes back because he's hardly played for us, so it will be like a new signing. And I mean, Rat says, he says, the fact 10 players in the squad are robbing a living. That match proved Longstaff is championship level. Murphy is the same level. We keep players because they serve the tops us, but top side clear out crap. I mean, they do clear out crap, and the problem is the former owner left us with a lot of crap in the squad, and you can't do like a Nottingham Forest, just clear them all out. I mean, I know Forest had a lot of loan players and people leaving on frees from their contracts, and they had to bring in 20-odd players, but you don't want to be doing that. You want to just try and do it gradually. And I think by this time, maybe if it's not this summer, but definitely next summer, there'll be a totally different side. So it's just one of those. I'll just go on to these comments before I get Pete's reaction. I like coffee. If Man United win their game in hand, they go above us. Yeah, let's hope they don't. Nacho says, we need a draw against Arsenal. Yeah, we do. Brighton getting thumped at the Amex says, I like coffee. Nacho says it would be very encouraging. I think this team can make it happen. I mean, it just be, we're just going to wait and see what happens on Tuesday. Rat says we need quality youth because Arsenal are peppering Brighton and they have real talented squad. Yeah, that's the thing. We were starved of youth under our former owner, and this is something our new owners are trying to address now. Nacho says, yes, they've got talent. Ali Coffee says, referee gave a goal kick to Leeds instead of a corner at one point. Yeah, it's one of them. Yes, nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. Ashton says he didn't hesitate to book Trippier, though. Don't think it was that different to the pen we could have had, but didn't hesitate to play on with that, though. Yeah, absolutely. Rat says, we keep hearing Ashworth and Nixon are top South American scouts. We've lost 2 players to their sides. So what's going on? Because everyone's getting talented Wonder Kids and we get unknown like Qual. I mean, let's not forget, they're just surmising these targets for us, likes of Santos. Who's to say that he was ever a target for us? I mean,
but these deals aren't even done. None of the clubs have confirmed that these deals have been done yet. So I'm sorry, like how does we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I'd rather keep it that way as well.
Yeah, it's like when they keep asking Eddie Howe in the press conference, like, well, how much are you spending in the window? And say Eddie Howe says, well, we've only got a limited budget, and he's not going to say to them, oh yeah, we can go out and spend 200 million in this window, because as soon as you say that, clubs are going to say, oh, Newcastle come knocking for a player, let's add another 20-30 million on. And that's what you don't do. And he's not the only manager that doesn't do that. Loads of managers do the same. That just says, can't blame the ref. The win was there for the taking, absolutely. Rat says, it's not about the result, it's about the quality we should have scored. How can Longstaff sky it twice, pass it on, he can't shoot? Yeah, I mean, Alan says, Murphy, Willock, Longstaff, not at a level where the club are going, think they should be sold in January or the summer. I'm not sure about Willock. I think there's a player in there. It's just getting it more out of him. Rat says, we need that quality about Miggy, about saying, but look at Saka at Arsenal, that's a winger. Yeah, absolutely. And he's a Toon fan. Rat says, in 2 games we could be 7th. It's a 2-point gap. Well, we're not trying to think like that at the moment. Alan says, too right, we are capable of getting a result down in London. This game today don't change anything for me. No, absolutely not. And last couple here. Joshua Diaz, hi to you, mate. I hope you're well. He says, dodgy offside decision given against Brighton for their 3rd goal. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Nashington says, Chris Wood not worth 25 quid in his eyes. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? I mean, guys, if you like what you see, hit the like button. It really does send the channel up the search results. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. It also bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. So thank you for that, guys. Right, Pete, finally we get on to you, mate. I mean, sum up today's game for me, and what was your thoughts on what you saw?
Some glorious opportunities were wasted today, unfortunately, particularly through Joe Linton and Longstaff just blazing it over the bar. Chris Wood, I'm sorry, you've got to be burying those, I'm afraid. And I don't know how he's just hit them straight at Melier. Sorry, but we need Wilson in the start against Arsenal. Massively need him in. And not to mention, that was Trippier's 5th booking this season as well.
Was it his 5th, was it?
I believe so.
I think he's only had 4 main now. That might be his 4th. Are you sure? Oh, well. Share you're thinking of? Share's got 4 bookings.
Could be wrong, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean it was a dire performance. I mean, Leeds were there Leeds came and parked the bus. But Trippier today, I thought, yes, he had his worst game. His crossing wasn't there. Everything he hit that landed in the keeper's hands every single time.
Yeah.
I mean, what was your take on Trippier today?
Did have the greatest game. I mean, who could you say had the greatest game of the day? I don't think anyone did. To be honest, got to admit. Yeah, well, just wasted chances left, right, and centre. Leeds came here to frustrate and get a point out of the game, and that's exactly what they did. But I've got to say, the right cheating idiots. Leeds United.
Yes, they are, aren't they? I mean, just looking at Kieran Trippier's stats here, he's got 4 yellow cards after today's game.
Oh, is it?
So he's not suspended for Tuesday, thankfully. I mean, he didn't play well. Bruno didn't really have a great game, did he?
As I mentioned, I don't think anyone did, to be honest.
Like, I mean, Botman had a go, didn't he? But
Yep.
he got frustrated at the ref at the end. Botman, he walked up to the referee asking, "Well, hang on, why is it full time? It's, they've been wasting a lot of time."
Yeah.
But I think we got frustrated. I mean,
well,
he wasn't he? I mean, Wilson got frustrated. He had a go at Mellier at the end as well, didn't he? I mean, he was lucky because had that been probably higher, he may have been facing a red card there, Wilson.
Oh.
From what I saw on the TV, it pushed him there, but had he raised his hands any higher, he could have been off for that.
Possibly could have been, yeah, absolutely. But you're going to be frustrated when the opposition are time wasting completely, and yeah. But the positive is we're not the only team that's dropped points today. Man City have as well.
Exactly. I had Man City down to smash Everton.
Brighton only losing 4-2, even though Arsenal fought past them, but Arsenal concede goals still. So we should start this game with no fear on Tuesday.
Absolutely. I mean, Brighton are not that great, are they, really, to be fair, under De Zerbi? I mean, yes, they've had some good results, but when they've come up against the bigger teams, they don't do it. I mean, I'll come round the table now and ask everybody as well. I mean, I'll start with you, Sam. By the time the window shuts on January the 31st, how many players do you think realistically you'd be happy with if we signed?
I would like to think 2 to 3.
2 to 3. All permanents as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same question for you, Mason?
3 or 4. 3 or 4 with I said 4, but it's with 3 permanents and 1 loan because I like to see a loan just to see if the player who we're bringing on loan beds in well, and then we can do the same with Target. Yes, it hasn't worked out this season with Target, but I wouldn't mind another loan in the window.
Yeah, I totally agree with that one. And Pete, what about you?
Yeah, I think 3 would be great as well. Permanent preferred, but if we get 1 loan, then I would understandable. Like we did with Target and Willock before as well. But Madison's the one we really need.
But strangest for Madison, isn't it? Because, like I say, he trained in the World Cup. He seemed to be running around that pitch all right when you saw them on the TV. I mean, it's a strange one, Madison. And then he doesn't play Boxing Day and he doesn't play yesterday because he's supposedly injured. But he looked somebody who was really miffed off and frustrated on Monday on them pictures. He wasn't even wearing any sort of Leicester City gear whatsoever. No hat, no jacket or anything. To me, that looked like somebody who's going out the club.
Yeah.
There is talk that we're looking at Tielemans as well for us.
Yep.
I mean, the window opens tomorrow. Who's to say we haven't already got these players over the line? I mean, Tielemans was left out last night. He was put on the bench. He came on as a substitute in the second half. And you're sort of thinking, what's that all about? Why was he a substitute yesterday? So something's brewing at Leicester. And now they're looking at a midfielder, Moroccan from Angers in France. They've put £25 million bid down for him. And apparently they want about 35 million for him. But
isn't that Buffal?
Yes, it might be him. Yes, it is. Yes.
Bloody, you're joking, aren't you? Bloody hell. I just don't want to see him in the Premier League. Yes, he's been a decent player, but it's basically for what happened to Southampton. His career was literally on the line when he was there at Southampton.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strange one, that. I mean, Ryan Fraser wasn't in the squad today. Do you think that suggests he's on his way out the club, Pete?
Could be. And apparently there's a new injury to that's to have the squad in Matt Target. Sammy Aaron could be facing some time out now as well.
Matt Targett's got an injury.
Apparently so, yeah.
Wow. Well, that's all we need now, isn't it?
Yep.
Gosh. I mean, Mason, do you find the Madison thing a bit intriguing, considering, that he's supposed to have come back with an injury now all of a sudden, and that we were sitting in the stands against us on Monday? He didn't look very happy, did he?
I've been interested on this situation because at times obviously the pictures at the King Power, seeing him not very happy, and I just thought, could this be him out the door? Because to be honest, I think he's wanting to move. Even admit that in the summer as well to Ian Wright. To be honest, if he's that desperate to come to Newcastle, if I was him, I should just tell them, I just want to go. Just cancel my contract because I want to play. Because he's seen what's happening in Newcastle compared to Leicester. We're fighting for Europe and they're fighting to not go into the championship next season. If Tielemans comes, that's a double bonus because I didn't know he was on the bench until you've told me, because I only seen the starting 11, but I didn't see the bench. Well,
yeah.
I don't know why they bought that face there. My
God. I mean, when I seen that he wasn't in the squad last night as well, Tielemans, I thought, could this be him out the door? Could this be him come to Newcastle? Because if we get both of them in, that'd be the icing on cake, really. But the thing is, who would you start?
Yeah.
Would you have to change formation because the formation in the midfield is working? But the thing is, I would drop either Madison or not drop. I would put Madison or Tielemans with to replace Longstaff, because that performance today wasn't good enough, and I don't know why. Maybe if he didn't replace him, I even said why is he not replacing Longstaff, because he was useless. And then even somebody who I forgot who it was, either it was Lewis or Daz, saying that Longstaff should have went off, and I said that, and I was literally watching it, saying that's what I said at the match. I mean, he should have, because Longstaff was poor.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. That's what we need. A caliber players like Joe Linton and Bruno playing in that midfield, and we've got two exact players who could fit in there, Tielemans or Madison. If one of them, you've got both of them. If one of them suspended, one of them is injured, you can just play the other one, because that may be even better.
That Moroccan it's not Boufal, sorry, Mason. Ben Jacobs has put out, can confirm Leicester have now made a bid for Angers midfielder Azzedine Ouani, who was excellent in the World Cup for Morocco. Leicester have offered £17 million up front and a total package worth £25 million, as first reported by El L'Equipe. Angers were hoping for £35 million.
Well, the thing is here, right? Is that them trying to sign somebody so they can let Madison or Tielemans go? Or is that them trying to say... Yeah, is that them saying, well, if Newcastle bid for the two of our players, if they put even 50 in for the two, we can get that player? There's something, a link going on there, because I think as well, I don't think Madison's injured. I think, judging by what I saw on Boxing Day, I think he said he doesn't want to be there, and Rodgers is like, well, you're staying until you sit and suffer, and that's why he looks unhappy, because I think he wants to be away. Rodgers won't let him. And why on earth he would bench Tielemans at Liverpool for is beyond us, because he's their best midfielder, and he's been in and out this season, but that's probably because he doesn't want to be there. It shows to me that. I mean, Rodgers said the other week it's down to him, and I'm like, no, it's not. If we put a bid in for them and the owners accept it, then you've got now to deal with it. It's the owners who want the money, not you, Brendan. So, I mean, if in hindsight, if they had the money, they would have sacked him months ago. So, is what it is.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Sam. I mean, to me, I said the other day, I said the thing with Madison not being in the squad and sitting on the bench and not looking happy on the sidelines, I say something stinks there. It doesn't sound right to me. I mean, it was reported, yes, well, it has been reported. I don't know who's reported this, where this rumours actually come from, but apparently we've put a bid in and we're interested in this guy. And I'll tell you what, I'll take him in a drop of a hat. Let you guys tell me as well what you think. But we've been linked with this guy, Ferland Mendy. They left back from Real Madrid. Apparently, Madrid are looking to sell him. He's worth about £36 million. In my eyes, if we got this guy, he's the best left. He'd be the best left back in the Premier League. What do you make of him, Sam?
As much as like signing players, I don't think left backs are a priority in the January. I think the priority, as you can see from the day, is another possibly a striker and a person that can like open play up and create things if you're going to play, or a defensive midfielder, depending on where you want to play Bruno in the middle and on the pitch. Because, pardon me again, like I said today, we lack that person that could just open the defence up today. Obviously, Bruno can do that, but he was playing in a completely different role. Longstaff can't do it. Joelinton can't do it, and Willock can't do it. So, and I think again, it's quite obvious that Chris Wood's just a double odd up front, isn't he? Nothing against, like, not being disrespectful, but he's got there's no movement, and you see the difference when Wilson comes on, who's had more injuries than him and everything like that, but he's more lively than him. When you would think the person who's had the less injuries would be a bit more mobile and a bit more, active on his feet. But I think that could be the two positions we need. Like I said, a possibility cover striker, depending on how long his action will be. I've heard, apparently he said yesterday he might be back in January, which is great. But again, we still need somebody we still need that unlocker, the unlock who can, like the day when the chips are down and we're going to be against a back four or back five most of the games, and we've got to break them down. We need that player. Obviously, we have got that player, but again, the other option is, do we go for a defensive player and then we free up Bruno to play in that position? So they're the two areas that I would say we need someone more desperately than a left back. I think we can manage with Byrne at left back for the rest of the season. I think we can manage if he keeps Jamal Lewis for the rest of the season as the backup for the rest of the season, then Clearo will have in the summer and rechange. So it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, Pete, Ferland Mendy, would he do for you in January?
It'd be great, but I agree with Chippers as what said. Left back is not the main priority. We could do with that extra CDM and definitely possibly another striker as well, because Chris Wood, he just frustrates people.
The man I've been banging on about, apparently we are looking at him. This guy, Corney.
Yeah. If we got him, I wouldn't mind him as well.
Gladbach don't want to sell him. Money talks.
That's it. But Tielemans would suit the CDM role perfectly as well.
Yes, he would.
Get him.
I mean, Mason, Ferland Mendy for you?
Well, only thing I would say if they want to sell Lewis and see how long Target's going to be out for, and yes, it'd be hard for him if he does actually come, but it'd be hard for him getting past Dan Boom for the he's I forgot the bloody word. Performances.
Yeah.
But his performances thought of keeping like Target and Lewis out of the team. Yes, Target's a much better left back to Lewis, but I mean, if we see how long Target's going to be out for, and if it's like basically until the last few weeks of the season, yes,
yeah.
But if we don't manage to sell Lewis, then unfortunately no. But yes, I like the sound of him, but it's just my only priorities are if we sell Lewis and if see how long Target's going to be out for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, there's talk of this guy. I mean, he wasn't in the squad today, and there's talk of him going to Southampton. If he goes to Southampton, I think that would be probably the ideal move, I think, in a way. Not sure how it's going to work out if Southampton are going to buy him or if he's going to go on loan and we're paying his wages or whatever. But
I think it'll be a
I think I'll
mutual.
be very
I
happy.
think it'll be a free transfer. I think it'll be just a mutual agreement where just get him off the
Get him
wage
off the
bill,
books.
get him out the door. Yeah, I think that's a lot
Yeah.
of players are going to have that. I mean, he did well last season when he came in, but again, this season we need better. We need level. If you look at Almiron's level, he's scored 9 goals this season already. We need that sort of level where you're looking at double figures now as a winger and double figures in assists. And unfortunately, Ryan Fraser now is at the stage where he's not at that level. Yeah, he was once, but he's past it now. He hasn't got the legs for it. So yeah, it is what it is. It's just unfortunate when he came because he came when Bruce was here and he came injured and Bruce didn't didn't fancy him, etc., etc. Just to see him didn't work out because he was a good player.
Yeah. I mean, Pete, will you be sad to see him go?
Not really.
Or
I've
will you
seen a
drive
lot
him
of
there?
disappointment. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of disappointments this season, and he's not shone this season at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just go into some comments here. See what's. Okay. So LA Coffee says Leicester scored 3 goals yet Mr. Teeth won. Yeah, I mean they were they were cracking goals from fast, weren't they? I mean the first one, but apparently, on Sky, if you listen to it, before the ball even gets anywhere near the box, before it even gets to Trent, you hear Danny Ward straight away shouting at him, "Keeper," and then he still puts his foot out and takes it, even though he was well advanced and tall. And like Gary Neville said, when you're a defender, if you hear that from your keeper saying "keeper," and the ball before the ball's come in the box, you know to adjust yourself and let go of the keeper because he's got the place, he's got it handled. And I mean, there were 2 stunning goals, weren't there? Especially the first one.
Yeah.
Alan says, yes, Shaw has that 4 bookings. And he says, can't complain about time wasting because we do it as well. Yeah, absolutely. We certainly do. He says, they will be looking for a full-back then if Target is injured, need cover. Yeah. And I like Coffee says, Mudrick's story has the Arsenal-Brighton game. He's captioned it saying 2 top coaches. Of course, I think he played under De Zerbi, didn't he, though, at Donetsk, because I think that's where De Zerbi used to be. Ali Coffee says, what's everyone's plans for New Year? After the show, I'm just going to have a few drinks with the missus, and that's and just a night in, basically.
Quiet one.
I'll come around the table. Sam, what's yours? What are you doing for New Year?
I've had one day off over Christmas, and then I've got so I'm absolutely knackered. It's like my week. I go off today and tomorrow, so I'm doing nothing. I'm literally just gonna sit in my mum, go put a couple of buffet things on because she's got them left over from Christmas, and just watch the telly. Because I'm knackered. I really am tired.
Yeah.
I've done 60 odd hours over the past 2 weeks, so it's like I'm really with 1 day off between them, so I'm completely just shagged. So I need some time. I need some time just to chill.
Yeah, I don't blame you, mate. And Mason, what are you doing tonight? Anything special or just chilling?
Chilling. Like, same with me. Work. Been at work most of the time. And I've had 2 days off this week. And off today and tomorrow. But yeah, me, I'm just gonna be chilling.
Yeah, don't blame me.
I need chilling because I'm actually fucked.
What are you doing, Pete? Having a few drinks tonight?
Yeah, may as well.
Yeah, why not?
It was your show on last night because I was obviously at work till 9 o'clock, so I haven't or 10 o'clock. I didn't know if it was on.
It was on yesterday.
Oh, I missed it then. I missed.
LA Coffee says, seeing some trolls from the top 6, happy that Leeds made us drop points. We've come a long way from a guaranteed 6 points last season. Yeah, that's the thing. They're all jealous. And but you know what? We don't care because we're still in the top 4. We're finishing the top 4 at the end of this year, which is an absolute fantastic achievement in my eyes. If somebody had told me in January that we would stay up and also be in the top 4 by the end of 2022, I would have just said, "Give me a bucket of what you're having." But because I would have thought, even if we'd stayed up last year in January, if I thought, right, we stay up, but then next season, if we're around top 10 mark, I'll be happy with that. But even happier where we are now. And you know what? We're going to have this odd bad game from time to time, and it's going to happen. But don't get too despondent. Just think we'll pick it up next game, and I'm sure Eddie Howe will analyse this game today, and he'll have the players. I wouldn't be surprised if the players are in tomorrow, and he's analysing it with them and saying, "Look, this is where we went wrong. I want this improving. I want that improving." Get them on the training pitch, get it done. I know it's a quick turnaround for the Arsenal game, but I can see that happening. Before we go, guys, do you want to tell people where you are, Sam?
Well, where I live. I mean, I don't really want to give away the location.
No, social Sam. Jesus.
Just Facebook, Sam Chitterfield, Instagram, Chitterfield Sam, and Channel 900 from 10 o'clock. So.
New Year's Eve special tonight, is it, Sam?
Yeah, baby oil special. So got the towel and ready. And...
You got to blame the other night, Sam, because
you can't see now with Archer going to see bloody blue and all that, can you? And these bloody chaps.
I mean, the other night the sites came up and somebody said, "Oh, Chipper's in the house, look."
I wasn't even on, was I? I don't think I was watching.
No, I don't think I was even on, no.
Jesus, man.
I think it was LA Coffee or somebody who put it on saying, "Oh, looks, Chipper's a sites are here."
Oh, the one who usually forgets Sam here, and usually doesn't say hi, Sam, when I'm here.
Oh yeah, that's Sefton, isn't it? He's not in. He's at work.
Yeah. Oh, he's at work.
Mason, where can people find you?
Mason Ford, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And
Penny Prowlock, the YouTube channel. Of course, feel free to subscribe. To me socials, Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. They're all PED Prowlock as well. So feel free to follow me and add me on there.
Yeah, fantastic. Find me on this channel where you're on now, and you can find me at TonyTooney31, which is on the screen there. And also, if you like what you see, please hit the like button. It really does help the channel up the search results and makes the channel found more easily. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. And also the bell notification that tells you when I'm live, pre-recorded, or any upcoming shows as well. And go through the last couple of comments here. LA Coffee says, "I hope we give Arsenal a good game because Ramsdale was poor." And LA Coffee says, "Yeah, it was me, but Paul calls them chipper sites." And I picked it up from there. So there you are, Sam.
I could have just been stacking shelves innocently at work and I'm getting cold but I'm not even bloody anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, God, honestly. But, yeah, so, I mean, guys, it's been one of those games, frustrating game, very frustrating game, but I think if somebody said we get 4 points out of Leicester and Leeds, I think we would have quite happily took that. Yep. Maybe the other way around, a point at Leicester and a win at Leeds.
Can I just quickly say as well, in these two fixtures last year, we only got 1 point. So we've got 3 extra points out of these fixtures. So people need to put that into perspective as well.
Absolutely. Last year we got Waller 4-0 at Leicester. We went down there and beat them 3-0. So that's a huge turnaround in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And got another comment here before we sign off. LA Coffee, bye Tony, Sam, PD, Mason, all. Bye LA Coffee, see you later, mate. Happy New Year to everybody as well. And thank you for subscribing. And we look forward to 2023, onwards and upwards. And LA Coffee says Happy New Year too. Yep, thank you very much for that. And I will see you shortly. So guys, that's it. We'll come to the end of the show. But Newcastle sign off 2022, third in the Premier League. Can't get any better than that. So Happy New Year to everybody, and bye-bye for now.
See you all next year. All the best.
Yeah, bye-bye.